When it comes to horror games, developers are always looking for new ways to make players feel vulnerable, uncomfortable, and afraid. Some games rely on terrifying creatures, others focus on psychological horror. While many survival horror experiences are built around limited resources and making every decision feel important, but every once in a while, a game comes along that tries to do something different. Crisol Theater of Idols is one of those games. Combining first-person action survival horror, exploration, and a unique blood as ammunition system, Crisol creates a horror experience that feels different from what players have seen before. The idea of using your own blood to power your weapons immediately creates a different approach to combat because every shot comes with a consequence. After playing through and completing Crisol Theater of Idols, I found a game that has a lot of creative ideas, an impressive atmosphere, and a world that stands out from other horror titles. However, some combat issues, repetitive encounters, and technical problems keep it from reaching its full potential. So does Crisol Theater of Idols successfully bring something new to the survival horror genre, or does its big idea fall short? Let's find out. In Crisol Theater of Idols, players take control of Gabriel Exdurio, a warrior who finds himself pulled into a dark conflict surrounding mysterious forces, religious beliefs, and a threat connected to the isolated island of Tormentia. The game takes place in a world inspired by mid-20th century Spain, and from the moment you arrive, the island creates a strong sense of mystery. Tormentia is filled with abandoned locations, ancient structures, and disturbing religious imagery and environments that make you feel like there are secrets waiting around every corner. One of the strongest parts of Crisol is how it handles its storytelling. Instead of constantly interrupting the player with long cutscenes that explain everything, the game allows the world itself to tell the story. Through exploration, environmental details, collectible information, and the locations you discover, players can slowly piece together the history of Tormentia and better understand the dark world they are exploring. Without getting into spoilers, Crisol does a great job creating a feeling of curiosity throughout the journey. The themes of faith, power, and devotion are present throughout the experience, and while the story may not always be the main focus, the world building does a great job keeping players invested. The biggest strength here is the atmosphere. The world feels like it has a major history, and the more you explore, the more you appreciate the detail putting into creating its dark and unsettling location. One of the first things that stands out about Crisol Theater of Idols is its visual presentation. Built using Unreal Engine 5, the game creates a dark and beautiful world filled with detailed environments, impressive architecture, and a distinctive horror style that helps it stand apart from other games in the genre. The island of Tormentia is easily one of the game's biggest highlights. Every area feels carefully designed to create a specific mood, from quiet abandoned locations to massive religious structures filled with disturbing details. The lighting also plays a huge role in building tension. Dark hallways, shadow-filled rooms, and eerie environments create a constant feeling that something could be waiting around the next corner. The art direction is where Crisol really finds its identity. The combination of Spanish cultural influences, religious symbolism, and horror elements create a world that feels unique and memorable. Playing this game on the Xbox Series X, I thought the overall presentation was impressive. The environments look great, the controls feel responsive most of the time, and the visual designs does a great job carrying the horror experience. However, the game does suffer from some performance issues, including occasional frame rate drops and small technical problems that can interrupt the immersion. The sound design is another major highlight. Every footstep, distant sound, creaking structure, and enemy noise helps create a constant feeling that you are never truly alone. The soundtrack also fits the game perfectly. The dark orchestra music, haunting vocals, and religious influences help strengthen the atmosphere without taking away from the environment. The gameplay is where Crisol Theater of Idols really separates itself from other survival horror experiences. The game's most unique feature is the blood as ammunition system. Instead of using standard bullets, players use their own blood to power their weapons. This creates a constant balance between attacking enemies and protecting your own survival. Every shot matters. Players have to think about when it's worth engaging, when to conserve resources, and when taking a risk could pay off. Resource management plays a major role throughout the experience. Exploring different areas, searching for supplies, finding upgrades, and preparing for future encounters becomes an important part of surviving. Combat features a mix of firearms and melee options, with the knife providing additional defensive options throughout blocking and parrying. This creates a more strategic way during fights because players cannot simply rely on one approach. The enemy designs also fit perfectly with the game's dark religious themes. The creatures and opponents help make encounters feel threatening and match the overall style of the world. When players are not fighting, Crisol focuses on exploration and puzzle solving. Searching areas, discovering new paths, and interacting with the environment creates a good balance between action and horror. These quieter moments also gives players time to appreciate the world design and uncover more details about the island.
It will not be in vain. Your blood will help seal the gate.
While Crisol Theater of Idols has many creative ideas, there are some areas where the experience falls short. The biggest issue is the gunplay. The blood ammunition system is an amazing concept, but the shooting does not always feel as polished as it should. There are moments where aiming feels inconsistent, which can make certain combat encounters more frustrating than necessary. Aim assist does help make combat more manageable, but it does not completely solve the issue. There are also occasional input problems when switching weapons, reloading, and performing certain actions. These issues are not constant, but in the game where every decision matters, even small delays can have an impact. While the enemy designs are creative, some encounters feel repetitive later in the game. The technical issues, including frame rate drops, minor bugs, and occasional interaction problems, also take away from the experience. None of these issues completely break the game, but they prevent Crisol from feeling like the best version of itself.
The promise of a new dawn would be born.
After completing Crisol Theater of Idols, I walked away impressed by the ambition behind this game. This is a horror experience that is not afraid to take risks. The blood as ammunition system is one of the most interesting ideas in recent horror games, and it successfully creates a different approach to combat and survival. Combined with its beautiful world design, strong atmosphere, and unique visual style, Crisol offers a horror experience that fans of the genre should not ignore. However, some combat issues, repetitive moments, and technical problems hold it back from becoming something truly special. Even with its flaws, Crisol succeeds because it offers something different. This is not just another horror game built around jump scares. It is a game that experiments with the formula and delivers a memorable experience for players who enjoy atmospheric horror, exploration, and resource management. If you are a fan of first-person horror games and you are looking for something that takes a different approach to the genre, Crisol Theater of Idols is definitely worth checking out. For that, I give Crisol Theater of Idols a 4 out of 5. Thank you for watching another review from the best place for independent gaming journalism, the Gamer Section. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you'll never miss out on our latest reviews, previews, and gaming news. Until next time, I'm Kano, and see you in the next video.